Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, so I'm here today to tell you that protein holds the key to Africa's economic growth. This is a little bit complicated, so I'm going to skip it until later. Now, on the left of your screen, you would actually see that sub-Saharan Africans actually consume less protein than the rest of the world. Now, the consequence of that is what you see on the right-hand side, and that is low productivity. Why? Because protein is responsible for cognitive development. People who consume more amino acids of the right type actually are able to build bigger, more resilient, and more sustainable economies. Actually, the statistic is that over 700 million Africans do not consume the required 61 grams of protein that their bodies need to function effectively. The good news is that cattle can help. They are the ultimate protein factories. They are able to synthesize cheap plants into the delicious protein we all enjoy. But there are two problems. The first is that those guys consume a lot of food. The second is that they cause climate change. Then comes in Food Locker. We use regenerative and precision agriculture to essentially drive the production of protein, beef, and grains. We feed the cattle with the residue that comes from protein production, in addition to Africa-sourced aromatic plants, which essentially treat methanogenesis. In addition, we take the manure that comes from cattle production and we use that essentially to fertilize the crops, which means we can crash the prices of both protein and grains at the same time while supporting smallholder farmers to produce for large buyers. We train smallholder farmers on regenerative agriculture and we collect their data. Essentially, after collecting this data, we then funnel that to our platform. On our platform, we're then able to use machine learning to determine the optimal configuration of input that will give us the highest weight gain, but at the lowest methane emissions. There are several competitors in the space. A number of them use asparagopsis, which is quite popular. Some don't even have any solution at all. But for those who use asparagopsis, the solution is usually too expensive. If you're familiar with what's happened in the UK, you'd also see the backlash from the consumers. But for Food Locker, our solution can be grown anywhere you can grow corn. It's super affordable. We make money by selling the farm produce, essentially the grains and the cattle, but also charging subscriptions to growers who use our solution. My team has over 6 years of work experience in operations with Amazon, agriculture, technology solutions, data science, and marketing with the likes of Unilever and Coca-Cola. We've done millions of dollars in sales since we started. We've been profitable over some months, and we've been supported by the likes of GIZ, etc. Our solution has been scientifically tested, and it works. We're raising $2 million, essentially returning 11 times to investors in a period of 5 years. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want Africa to grow, we need to produce more protein, and Food Locker is the name. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's quite interesting. Biggest issue, I think, is always the people. How would you get the farmers to both do the right agricultural practices and then also treat the cows and have the herds managed in the right way?
Thank you very much for that question. Our production systems are clustered systems. So we essentially produce on like 200 hectares of land. We co-locate the farmers, and then we have animal scientists, animal technologists, crop scientists, etc., who work with them. The whole idea is to centralize their production activities. Then we have a technology platform that monitors their production activities. So all of the activities are dictated by calendars. They know exactly what they need to do on a daily basis. They are given pre-season training. They are given coaching programs. So it's essentially like we're creating the United Farmers of Alberta in Africa, which is essentially co-location of farmers to produce efficiently and effectively.
Okay. And I guess the other part of the value chain of the abattoirs, the slaughterhouses, and all that, are they already existing, or are you also going to build that into your business model?
Yes. So currently we partner with third parties who do that on our behalf because we still sell in Nigeria. But the ultimate objective is essentially to export, and therefore those farming estates essentially would have those infrastructural projects on those sites as well.
And how much further, or how more cows do we need to actually solve the problem?
Actually, we need fewer cows because one single cow would give you about 400 kilograms of protein. And because of how efficient they are and how affordable they are, you're essentially able to support Africans a lot quicker than you would if you were going to give them chicken or fish.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I'm going to have to wrap it up there. We're tight, but thank you so much for those questions. I think everyone, for climate change reasons, loves the we need fewer cows statement. Thank you again. Big round of applause. I'm going to call the next company that will be presenting. That's iShamba, and the title for the session is Improving the Livelihoods of Smallholder Farmers in Africa and Helping Them Adapt to Climate Change. And we will be hearing from Mr. Elias Ngotho.
Thank you so much. Now, we all just eat. But think of a world where the people who provide our food, the bloodline of our economies, are driven into poverty, not because they are unwilling to work, but because they are starved of information and they face climate change risks. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the reality of the smallholder farmers in the sub-Saharan Africa. But it doesn't have to be like this. At iShamba, we are changing the story. My name is Elias Ngotho, Product Support at iShamba Limited. iShamba was started from a popular farm makeover reality TV show called Shamba Shape Up, where over 8 million viewers would tune in to get practical solutions on how to do their farming. But every time after the show, we would get a lot of questions. How can I deal with pests? My cow is sick. What can I do? So what did we do? We created a platform and named it iShamba. At iShamba, we have profiled our farmers in that we know where they are, we know what they do. And so with this information, we are able to tailor information that is specific for each individual farmer. We also have a Q&A platform through the call center and through SMSs where we interact with the farmers. We have digital tools such as Budget Mkononi, where farmers are able to budget for their farming planning. Our business model revolves around research, so we leverage our database as well as the platform to do a lot of research and send a lot of bulk SMSs for our commercial partners, research partners, and development partners. This is how our revenues look. As you can see in the year 2022 from 2021, we had an 100% increment. In 2023, we had a 64 increment. 2023, that is, 2024 is coming up. Our database has slightly above 550,000 farmers who are profiled. And according to a research done by 60 Decibels, it shows that 67% of these farmers had their production very much improved, and 65% the quality of life very much improved. The market size potential is very high, up to 8 million farmers with access to mobile phones. We value partnerships. We work with both commercial, research, and development partners to ensure that this is sustainable. Meet our able team, made up of researchers, agronomists, animal experts, who are very seasoned and able. We are raising $1 million. We want to scale. We want to do a lot of impact assessments. We also want to automate the answering of questions. Ladies and gentlemen, at iShamba, this is where tradition meets tech. This is where data meets, that meets data. Join us, let's connect. Let's improve livelihoods. Thank you very much.
Hello. I guess the first question I have to ask is, what type of capital are you looking for? I know you're saying equity, but is it VC? Is it small cap PE? Is it? I think this can cause the mismatch when people are looking for funding, and can be ineffective for your use of time also. So I think that's one of the first things I always want to ask.
Good question. So, of course, you're looking for equity, and just to say it's VC.
Do you see yourself having VC type returns? And is there innovation and risk that a VC fund would want to look at? I'm not saying VC is the best thing. I think VC should only be no more than 7% of a country's capital stack. Just because I'm a VC does not mean I'm saying it's the best. I'm just trying to make sure that in this industry, our industry, I think we've all failed a lot of founders by not being clear about what the capital may be right fit for the business they're building. And we need all other types of capital. Maybe just because VC's around, everyone has to feel that's the only one that you have to talk to. But that's why I'm asking. Is there enough innovation? Is there enough risk? Because that's what VC is for, right? We need to have high returns for high risk.
Absolutely. So I would be honest with you. We have tried the subscription model. It's not working, to be honest. And that is why we inclined our model towards research, specifically research and visibility for commercial partners, as well as sending bulk SMSs for research and all that. And if you look at the numbers and how they look, the numbers have been going up. So it's very sustainable, and the market is there because a lot of research partners like the SIAT, that is the Alliance of Biodiversity and SIAT, have been really interested in this. So yes.
That is exactly the question. I think if you tell a VC that your main clients are research institutions, I think for them it's hard to understand where the scale comes from for a VC return. I'm not picking on your business. Your business is actually probably a great small cap PE business, because if I give you a few $100,000 or $1 million, you can probably return it in 5 years with 30%. But that's slightly different than what VCs look for.
I'm going to thank Mr. Elias and thank the judges here, and we're going to move on to the next lesson. A round of applause for him.
Thank you so much. Let's connect.
The next company is Swift V. The title for the presentation is Africa's largest SaaS agri-platform enabling fintech, insurtech, and data. And we'll be hearing from Mr. Russell Luck.
Which one's forward? That one, which is back? That one back. Hello, everybody. Before we get started, just a huge clap to everybody for being here. Thank you for supporting all of us. I think you guys deserve a round of applause. Well, time's already ticking. That's definitely not fair. SwiftV is a software as a service online auction trading company, layering fintech, insurtech, and data products. Auctions are a place where an asset or value is purchased, and it is at this inflection point where fintech is most effectively offered to customers. This is known as the B2B to X sales channel, fastest growing fintech segment in Africa and in global markets. SwiftV software is used in over 15 different industries, property, art, vehicles, and many more. But we enjoy a competitive moat in agriculture as the largest online livestock and game trading platform on the entire continent. We have operations in South Africa, Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, and the United States. We'll be scaling into Kenya and East Africa later this year, as well as other places. We have set records and broken records for securing the highest cattle prices on the entire continent, including most expensive bull for over $500,000. We'd like to think of ourselves as an excellent investment. SwiftV has grown between 60% and 100% for the past 5 years, not just the first 2. We trade over $55 million GMV annually and comfortably surpass $1 million in revenue. We have provided 22x return on money to our investors and profitable in less than 12 months. We're also proud to have strategic partnerships with Africa's leading companies, Naspers, largest in Africa, Old Mutual, 7th largest, and many more. We've also won awards from Google and Facebook for being leaders in technology innovation and placed in the top 25 companies in Silicon Valley's international events. But while we position ourselves as an excellent investment, what we actually pride ourselves on is our impact. SwiftV has been recognized as a leader in social impact in the areas of climate impact, financial inclusion, and sustainability in agriculture. We won awards from the United Nations for being the best company in the world, achieving SDG 2. Now, as CEO, I would love to take all the credit for these achievements, but the truth is, I'm the least important person in my entire company. All credit to our SwiftV team, and it's only because of them that all of this is possible. Most importantly, SwiftV is proof that when it comes to leading technology innovation, the future is female. We have a female co-founder, 75% of all leadership positions are held by women, and over 55% of our entire company are female. 2 opportunities for your consideration. Firstly, invest in us. Or secondly, support our impact projects requiring a small ticket size, which will match. We are raising $4 million in order to galvanize expansion into global markets, as well as execute on fintech contracts valued at over $2 billion. There is sufficient appetite for us to close our round if we wanted to. However, we're looking for the right strategic partners with expertise in software as a service, fintech, insurtech, and data. Our round is being led by Hawaii Capital, who have an excellent track record of taking African companies global. Some of their portfolio companies include Lexi Hearing, featured alongside NVIDIA and SpaceX in Times 100 list, Rapid Deploy, supply of first responder software to 911 and the US Coast Guard, and Sportable, measuring technology for teams such as the English Premier League, NFL, Manchester United, Arsenal, and many others. Africa is filled with opportunities, but all that we get sold on are its challenges. SwiftV is aspirant of becoming a technology leader across global markets. So join us, because Africa is filled with excellence, and it is time that the world sees more of it. Thank you.
Congratulations, very interesting. High returns, looks very, very promising. What type of investors are you looking for, you mentioned?
Strategic investors, we're very focused. First of all, we believe in a fair value. We're not going for the highest valuation or anything, because I have the pressure of then producing and providing a return for you. And I always say if I can make everybody money, I'll be just fine as well. So expertise is key. As we expand into Africa, for example, we have, I'm native to South Africa, so a lot of the South Africans like to back their own. But great strategic networks in Africa, because those are markets we're expanding into East Africa. And aside from that, fintech skills are great for us because we've got massive banking partnerships that we're executing on. But fintech, insurtech, data, and African and Asian networks, I think, are the big ones.
Okay.
Hawaii have to cover the US part of it. No pressure, Hawaii.
So both looking for local, so Kenyan investors, but also like Asian or other investors as well.
100%. So, as we expand into places like Rwanda, Ghana, Kenya, and all those kind of East Africa or developing economies, a VC, we've got to do the work. But I mean, if a VC can do intros and is known on the ground, it does make a huge difference when you're kind of scaling. And then, of course, Asia, we have many Asian buyers. We're doing very exciting things with the UAE. And so those markets as well are very exciting to us. With the United States, of course, as the jewel, because my big thing is I want to be one of those entrepreneurs that show that Africa can be like leaders in innovation. We're not just a continent that needs grant money, that we can be brilliant. And that the VC should come here because that's the future of innovation.
Great.
Yeah, very interesting. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the core product. Because I understood the verticals that it's serving, and I understood ag, and I love ag, but I'm still trying to wrap my head around the core product itself.
Sure thing. So in livestock trading, it's a unique type of auction. People want to see the quality of the animal in real time, different to property, art, vehicles, whatever. So our core product and what makes us very special is to do a live video stream in real time in the African continent with latency and internet problems, etc., in a reliable feed, very hard to do. So my teams go out, we do a live stream auction software component. Separate to that, we also white label that into multiple industries, and we layer the fintech and insurtech onto those platforms. Sounds like a lot. We just solve one problem: fragmented markets. Physically fragmented, and then also digitally, because now people don't just want to buy online, they want to insure, finance online as well.
Okay. I'm going to thank again Mr. Russell Luck, and that's a very good last name, and wish you all the good fortune. A round of applause for him.
Thank you very, very much for your time.
The next company that will come to the stage is Trio, and they will be speaking about tree tracking technology. And we'll be hearing from Mr. Joshua Mukungunzi. I hope I got that right.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Joshua Muchunguzi Mugabe. I'm the country director for TRIO, Uganda. This is a tree tracking technology, and it stems from a 10-year experience in tree planting. We come into this space of climate tech as a way of providing transparency to people about the balancers and the investors about the trees that have been planted. For over many years, there have been negative publicity about the carbon, and therefore TRIO comes into the space to solve this challenge. We do tree tracking. We also do single tree monitoring every year, and then we provide an evidence for all the trees using our satellite technology and analysis. We are able to prove that these trees have been planted and also the land where it has been surveyed. We do a number of projects. We do conservation project, we do agroforestry project, and we also do timber for harvesting. This helps the farmers also to provide them the food security through our projects in terms of the food that they also get through the agroforestry projects. These trees, we are able to track them at the age of the 4 years and also provide evidence for the carbon they have sequenced. Our company is able now to pay the farmers for the carbon in terms of the tons they have produced for over years. Our technology won the Best Innovation Award in Germany, and we are also able to provide a crowd to our investors, to our balancers who invest in TRIO, because they know exactly where their money has gone, but also they also provide data for their sustainability goals. TRIO as a technology, as you can see, we're able now to measure through the diameter of the tree. We're able to track how much carbon has been sequenced, and this helps us to identify also the seedlings, the number of seedlings that have planted, so there is transparency in every aspect of our growth. TRIO has so far over 1,800 users, and as you can see, we are able now to track the number of seedlings that have been provided, and also be able to provide the donors and our customers with evidence. We have 3 types of businesses that we do. First of all, we sell this technology to our partners, our tree planting growers, to provide evidence for their tree that they have planted. We also do biochar, to provide fertilizers to these trees that we have been able to plant, and this helps us to also now provide value and income for our farmers. These are our partners that we work with. The measurements performed, over 2 million measurements have been performed. Our investment round.
Finish your sentence.
Okay, thank you. We are looking for an African partner. Our investment round opens in September this year.
How much are you looking to raise? Last issue.
We are looking for 1 million. $1 million.
Dollars?
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Joshua. Yes, Joshua, I'll hand it over to the judges.
Thank you. This is quite interesting. Question for you. You said you have 1,800 users. Who's your user?
Our users, our tree planting partners. So far in Uganda, we have planted over 600 hectares. We have planted over 600 hectares in Indonesia, and we are still planting. Our goal this year, the users are going to increase because our target this year is over 1,000 hectares in Uganda.
Mm-hmm. So a user is a tree planting organization?
Yes.
Okay. And you're active in Uganda and Indonesia?
And in Germany.
In Germany. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I think similarly to earlier, I'm still trying to wrap my head around what the investment vehicle would be for the $1 million. Because for me, as a VC again, I'm not saying we're the best, I'm saying this is what I have. It would be hard to look at. And just a bit of feedback, right? And also, what I think people would end up wondering, and something that I think we wonder is like, is this a add-on platform to help a consulting business, or is this a product?
this is a product because we sell it to our balancers in Europe who want to provide sustainability goals as a way of counterbalancing their emissions. So we make sales, and then we can able now to connect them to the growers in Africa who provide land, and we plant their trees.
Okay, and then maybe last question then. If it is a product, how do you protect it from other competitors? What is so special and hard to build about Trio that I cannot go wherever and build it in 6 months in terms of the validation, et cetera?
Of course, we understand that it is always the competition, but our technology is built on trust, and also we are able now to sell it to our people, our tree planting partners. Therefore, we are up to the game to compete, and we know that there are many competitors who will come into the space, but we are already up and we are able to compete.
Thank you then again, Joshua, and thank you to the judges. The next company that will be presenting is Senyatna. The title for the presentation is Promote Local Heritage, Empower Women, and Protect the Planet. We welcome Ms. Zina Kuka to the stage.
Assalamu alaikum. Today, millions of women artisans in Tunisia work hard to create a beautiful handmade product, but they struggle to sell them. They lack access to digital platform. They earn very little money due to unfair middlemen, and many of them want to grow their business but lack financial support. Meanwhile, the demand of natural handmade and high-quality product is growing very fast, by 15% every year. So why are these women still struggling? Senyatna. Hi everyone, I'm Zina, co-founder and CEO of Senyatna. Senyatna is more than a business, it's a mission. We empower an artisan by providing logistics service, digital collaboration platforms, and quality assurance. So the global target, the global handmade and ethical target market is worth 48 billion euro. In North Africa and Europe, it's about 15 billion euro. And we are targeting 100 million euro in Tunisia and nearby country. So we work as a we operate as a value-added reseller, selling to large and medium stores in North Africa and retailers and consumer in Europe. And sorry, I need, yeah. So how we make money? So we buy at fair prices from artisans, and then we cover logistic, eco-friendly packaging, and control quality, and then we sell at a premium to ensure sustainability. So we are already making difference. We work with more than 200 artisans in Tunisia. 90% of them are women, and 13 artisans are integrated into the economy for formal economy in 2024. And we are seeking for 250 K euro to empower, to expand to new international markets and to enhance our digital platform and strengthen our logistic and quality service. So Senyatna, its movement, we are preserving tradition, empowering women, and protecting the planet while building a strong business. So the market is huge, our impact is real, Now it's time to scale. Join us and be part of this exciting journey. Thank
Excellent.
you.
How do you deal? I actually know this model. I invested in one of my last funds similar. So I find it very interesting. How do you deal with quality control as you scale?
Yes, we have already internal laboratory. And we have some rapid machine analysis to ensure the high quality of the product. And before we actually make training programs for women to sensibilize about the good practice.
Does that mean that when you're saying, I'm just trying to understand, the laboratory or testing, does it mean the products are similar, or you're getting different artisans with different types of products?
So we actually work on food only on food, yeah.
So what kind of food do you work on?
Like starchy food, olive oil, honey, spices. Local food, local Tunisian food.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Did you ask her how much she was trying to raise?
I have
3,000,
some.
Sure.
yeah, $250,000 euros,
Okay,
right?
got it.
250,000 euro, right? That's what you said, yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Cook.
Thank you.
The next company we'll hear from is Koamana. The title for their presentation is Making Markets Work Through SaaS Technology, and we'll hear from Adanma Abalunam. Welcome onto the stage.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Adanma Abalunam, and I am the Chief Commercial Officer at Koamana. I want to tell you a bit about Megateri Market in northern Nigeria. So Megateri Market does $2 million in sales every single Thursday. Many people know this market for its international cattle trade. What a lot of people don't know is the sheer volume of products that move through the market every week. And this is the story in many African markets. These markets are led by market leaders that maintain order and oversee trade, but the market leaders currently aren't taking advantage of the digital tools that exist that could transform the economic prospects of market members. As a result of this, a lot of the trade in this market is happening offline. Pricing information spreads via word of mouth, and traders are limited to opportunities in their immediate physical environment. We built Amana Markets to solve this. For a monthly subscription fee of $40, market leaders can register their markets on Amana Market and turn the market into an online store. This gives their members access to historical pricing data, the ability to trade online within their markets, but most importantly, access to other markets who are also on the platform. It's very simple. The market leaders join the platform, add their members, and they immediately gain access not only to markets, but also to our buy now, pay later product, which allows traders to buy products on credit and pay us back after successful sales. We make money in a number of simple ways. So I've already mentioned the subscription fee. We also charge a transaction fee of 2.5% on every transaction that takes place on the platform, and a 0.3% daily interest on any loans that we give on the platform. This year, we've also started licensing the product to enterprises so that startups and scale-ups can focus on building networks, not building technological platforms. To date, we've done $1.25 million in GMV and $75,000 in net revenue. By the end of this year, we plan to be in 200 markets, doing $5 million in GMV and $400,000 in net revenue. We believe we can do this because we have a unique model. We work with market leaders as partners, and we turn existing offline trust networks into scalable, structured online network effects. The market potential is huge. If we get this right, in 3 years, we can be in as many as 8,000 markets, doing $426 million in GMV every single year. We've had significant impact, and now we really want to move to the next stage. Deepen our presence in our existing markets, but also scale into new locations in Nigeria and Kenya, where we operate. To do that, we're raising $1.5 million. We've already raised 750K, pardon any typos on the slide, and we're looking to raise an additional 750,000. We have a very strong team working together on this problem for years, and we're looking to use some of the money we raise to invest in more resources, building out the team, building out the tech, and facilitating our entry into new markets and new locations. The future of African trade is here. Let's build it together.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you. This is quite interesting. I would love to see it in Ghana as well. I'm surprised they're going to Ghana and Ivory Coast in the West African market. What is the friction? What is the challenges of introducing the tech to these markets?
The primary challenge that we face currently is that the majority of our users don't have access to a smartphone. So in order to make the product work and ensure that we have lively engagement, we build agent networks in the markets that we're working in. We're building some innovative USSD options as well that give them access to the platform. But I really think engaging self-serve, getting traders to self-serve on the platform is the thing we're working hardest on. And we're investing a number of different channels to make that possible.
I actually know the model, so somewhat biased. I do like the company a lot. What is the big jump in the GMV to net revenue ratio this year versus the past?
What is informing the big jump?
Well, yeah, because you're going from 2xing revenue to, I think, about 5 or 7xing profit.
Yeah, correct. So I think last year, we spent the second half of last year really thinking about our commercial strategy. We figured out a lot of things about the product. We understand how to enter markets via the market leaders and build relationships. So we've actually 4x'd the sales team. We've specialized functions. And we're very confident that we can move into new markets and build relationships a lot quicker than we have in the past, simply by introducing structures that we didn't have in the past.
And it's an interesting question because other companies have done this. Have you thought of smartphone financing besides all the investment in USSD and other things? Saying that, let's say, in 3 or 5 years, everyone will have a smartphone? Maybe they won't, but at least your clients would.
I think it's possible, and I think we're considering smartphone financing in the first instance for agents within the market. If we see good uptake, we see good returns on that, then we might consider how we also do the same for traders.
Thank you again. A
Thanks
wonderful
very much, everyone.
presentation from Ms. Adama. And then we will be moving on to the next company. The company is GenePlus, and the title for our session is The Last Mile, Bovine Genetics and Vaccine Service Delivery. Yes. And we welcome on to the stage Chris Silai.
Good afternoon. My name is Chris Silali. I'm a veterinarian working out of Kenya, providing last mile genetic supplies and vaccinations to smallholder farmers. I would wish to give you the backstory to this. Statistics have shown that most African communities, 70% of the community is actually rural, and this means that these are people who are actually providing food on a day-to-day. But also Africa has a very weak land policy, which means that a lot of fragmentation has happened, and therefore these people have been reduced to very small parcels of land, and that's what the categorization of smallholder is. Again, these people have the lowest of productivity and the lowest of incomes, and that is actually as well the reason of African poverty. Why do these people have these challenges? A lot of African farmers find it difficult to access critical inputs that enhance their productivity due to high cost of the inputs, at times inaccessibility because of infrastructure challenges and limited access to information. This is one big area that we, as GenePlus, wish to address. We designed a solution that provides these critical inputs targeting the genetics and vaccinations using a last mile approach where we sub-franchise local vets to be able to provide breeding services and vaccinations to rural smallholder farmers. And how we do it is that we have created a USSD code that enables many farmers with feature phones and any kind of access to mobile telephony to be able to access these services by creating also cold chain infrastructure closer to them that is anchored in cluster centers that are in cooperatives. By doing this, we're able to reduce the cost of these inputs by up to 40%, and as well as be able to offer these services more sustainably. Our business model is that we work with the exclusive partners across the globe to bridge the technological gap, bring this through a service delivery model through vets, the cooperatives and agri-store centers to access these smallholder farmers. And our markup is quite also attractive using this model. While the prices are going down, the margins range between 35 and 41%. The market for Kenya alone is at about $64 million. But again, when you look at the entirety of Africa, even as East Africa alone, the market is huge and the potential is high. In Kenya alone, we have adoption rates of below 30% of some of these technologies we are providing. And even worse in Uganda, where we have only 5%, Tanzania almost at 6%. And these are the same challenges we have. Traction has been good. We've been growing year on year with over $1 million in revenue. And we've been able to impact across range of communities across Africa, across Kenya. Competitive advantage is obvious, that we stand out in technology, as well as cold chain support and the delivery model. I have a team that backs me up, and we're raising about $2 million to be able to scale up our last mile model in Kenya, and later on in Africa. We seek you to join us on this journey of changing livelihoods of farmers in Kenya.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you very much. Do you want to maybe share a little bit of how you use this money? The breakdown of the 2 million and how that help you scale?
The 2 million is mainly going towards infrastructure development because we need a robust cold chain, decentralized in cooperatives across the region that we are covering. And additionally to that, we're also going to deliberately put some money in product development. We need to train more farmers on how to access these services. And further to that, we also want to put some money in working capital. The split is 40% infrastructure, 30 in working capital, and 30 in product development.
Okay, thank you.
And how will you capture more customers? What is your go-to-market? Is it through vets? Is it through distribution partners? Is it direct? And then you distribute through vets? Just trying to understand that a bit more.
We're actually working through cooperatives. Cooperatives work as aggregation centers for most smallholder farmers, and the cooperative gives us a good platform to reach more farmers. Once we get the cooperatives signed up to the platform, then we go ahead and start training farmers in those cooperatives.
I think most of us all know cooperatives of SACCOs are a very, very interesting pipeline, but yet hard to convert. So tell me why your conversion is working better than any other startup in basically Africa.
The value that we drive is actually a very attractive value to cooperatives. One, we're actually coming up with a product that every farmer wants, but we're also providing it in a very sustainable way. So what we've done is we've created incentives across our supply chain. And one incentive targets the farmer, which is reduced cost. For cooperatives, we have a direct incentive of developing extension system within the cooperative, which is also a cost that is put into the service delivery. And also within that, we have a way of empowering the cooperatives through continuous training. So we have a way of making the cooperative feel that they would want to be part of us. Yeah.
We're going to thank Chris Silali again. Thank you so much for that presentation. Our next company is Wazi Eats. I love that name. The title for the session is Enabling Informal Vendor Digital Transformation in Africa, and we will be listening to Olga Yanda. Welcome onto the stage.
Hi, everyone. Hi. I am Olga Yanda from Cameroon, and I'm very pleased to be here in Nairobi, Kenya. Yesterday, I walked to a meeting and I happened to be hungry, as usual. So I stopped by a stall and I bought chapati. It was very good. I loved it. It was cheap, filling, and quality. That's the type of food I'm craving when I'm stuck in meetings or working remotely. Now, I want you to think of the lady who sold me chapati. She's getting a new customer yesterday, but she did it by opportunity. I just happened to be walking. That is the issue with, for over 300 million people in Africa trading informally. They operate without a system, meaning that they are lacking secure and dedicated supply chain for their procurement. They are cash intensive, and they also rely on street buy selling or word of the mouth as sales channels. And it contributes to limit their revenue growth and financial inclusion. At WASIT, we unlock economic growth in the informal sector. How? By offering end-to-end digital platforms so they can get connected to the market and also tap into the power of e-commerce for streamlining the operations and engaging with digital customers. They can do that at an affordable cost, where they will be charged small transaction fees on small commission on every transaction, as well as fixed fees for premium services. As well as we have 5 products, one being agro products, any livestock, fresh products, raw materials. We have the homemade groceries, being the snacks, oil, flour. We have the instant food, so like the chapati I had yesterday. And we have the financial services for advance in capital, as well as training. I'm going to show you the traction from, for one of the products that we've deployed last year, being instant food only. So in a year, we've had more than 10,000 users, of which 3,000 are recurring paying customers, ordering from 150 vendors, and generated over $25,000 of revenue for those vendors. We operate in a market which is huge because the informal sector represents up to 75% of the economy. And it's a billion-dollar market opportunity that we intend to penetrate with various programs such as meal plans, digital acquisition, enabling our own vendors to recruit more vendors, and so forth. We've used, in terms of technology, we coupled very seamless interfaces and rest on machine learning models and a chatbot and a WhatsApp extension. So the informal vendors can access tools that were once reserved to the formal economy. That's our differentiation point, also with a very quite early competition, where we have a focus on the informal economy, and we are also on both distribution and supply side. So this is my team, a team of industry-specific experts. We are also backed by the GIZ and various other organizations. So today, we are raising $500,000 to work on the technology and leverage it, and also to start a nationwide growth plan. Thank you. So if you are a partner, a startup, or investor, I invite you to contact me and ensure that the lady selling chapati down the street can be a catalyst to sustainable development. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
No, thank you very much. I think it's very laudable. I think one of the questions I have is similar to the other one, with the target group you're looking at usually do not have smartphones. Mm-hmm. So how are you planning to get them into the digital world where they don't have the platforms to use?
Yes, it's true. So I've mentioned that we use module extensions where we are able to reach a good portion of our community via WhatsApp for those who have smartphones. So the first entry point will be via tools that they use on a daily basis, one being WhatsApp. We also have extensions with SMSs, and we are looking at deploying USSD codes. This is the entry point. We have a low digital penetration rate of 40%, around 40% in our region, but it is growing. So as it is growing, we are also going to grow our presence.
I think I myself love a good kibanda chapati. It's one of my favorite lunches. the one thing I've always thought about, because one, I love the walk from the office to the kibanda. So I guess what I'm asking is, do you see enough of a market size, which, fortunate or unfortunate, coming from America, where people are stuck in their office and they need to order food, let's say, for lunch, versus people wanting to go to the corner, et cetera. So I see, I think that's what I see as the replacement that this product is going for. I'm not saying it's not good to try to get these vendors more business. I'm just trying to understand, how do we see the market size growing based on where we see people's, where this product, at the time of the day this product is sold maybe, and where we see economies growing in the sense of how many people in the office work, et cetera.
Thank you for the question. You cannot always go, to Kibanda, that is it. So for those moments, we're there. And also, consumption habits are changing. So the e-commerce is growing more and more in Africa. So it's a trend that is real. So we are surfing on that trend. And I've mentioned that we are tapping into the market via meal and food plan for corporate. So it could be that it comes directly from your employers. So to grow, yes.
Thank you again, Ms.
Thank
Yanda,
you.
and thank you to the judges.
Right.
A round of applause for Olga. The next company, I believe, will be Acquah, and the topic is agricultural technology, Agritech, and we'll be hearing from Ms. Rosalia Ayugi. Yes, big round of applause for Ms. Ayugi.
Good afternoon. My name is Rosalia Ayugi, the CFO at Acquah. We are Africa's first fish farming platform with a vision to transition small and medium-sized fish farmers into profitability. These are the challenges that Rebecca faces on a day-to-day basis as she carries out fish farming, which is lack of access to quality fingerlings, quality fish feeds, lack of technical capacity, lack of market for their fish, and lack of credit facility. And it is these problems that has inspired Acquah to develop a digital ecosystem whereby Rebecca can get access to quality and affordable fish feeds from different manufacturers, quality fingerlings, and get technical assistance by training that we offer through our aquaculture agents. We also have a farm management tool that is integrated to IoT sensors that measures the temperature of the water, which gives guidance to Rebecca on how much and when to feed. We also partnered with a financial institution to offer blended financing to Rebecca, which will assist her in working capital in terms of being able to get feeds on credit. On top of that, we also offer market through our B2B and B2C channels that are located in the different counties of Kenya, whereby once we offtake the fish from Rebecca, we get to distributing using our different distribution channels. Our revenue model is that we make a margin from the sale of fish feeds, fingerlings, and fish. And so far, we've been able to increase the productivity of Rebecca by 40%. We've enabled women and youth to trade through our platform by eliminating the middlemen and the brokers. Our ask today is that we are raising 2 million, broken into 1 million towards debt and another 1 million to grants. This is our last mile distribution channel, IoT sensors integration, one of our distribution channels, and a model. We currently have over 10,000 farmers who have been onboarded and trained into our platform with an available market of 40,000 fish farmers in Kenya. This is the team, the wonderful team at Acquah, and thank you. Join us in powering growth in aquaculture.
Thank you. Please.
So thank you. So currently, where are you operating?
Sorry?
You're based in Kenya?
Yes, we're in Kenya, Kisumu County.
And are you looking to then expand across Kenya and in the East African region?
So currently we are just in Kenya, in 9 counties in Kenya, but with future plans of expanding to Africa, Rwanda and Tanzania.
Okay. And what is the main challenge of getting the fish farmers on board?
So right now the current challenge is supply, and we've come up with a program, contractual fish farming, whereby we are trying to, we are giving them 15 diameter cages on lease-to-own basis, which basically means it will increase their production from 5,000 pieces of fish to 60,000 pieces of fish.
Okay, thank you.
So with the fish centers and others, has that changed your model a bit in the last year, and how would that change in the next year or two after this fundraise?
So initially we were just into fish feeds, but based on the challenges in terms of input and the supply of fish, we ventured into the now B2C and B2B model, whereby once we take the fish from the fish farmers, we then distribute it using the B2B and the B2C channel. And currently with the program for contractual fish farming, we're also expanding their capacity. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you again, Ms. Sayugi. The next company is Farm to Feed, Africa's first tech-enabled platform repurposing food losses, and we'll be here from Ms.
Hello.
Claire Van Enck.
Hi, everyone. They got us on 3 minutes, so hi, everyone. My name is Claire Van Enck, and I'm the CEO and founder of Farm to Feed. Let me first take you to the problem. In sub-Saharan Africa, half of fruits and vegetables do not reach the consumer for consumption. Half. Let that sink in. It has a huge impact on the economy. It has a huge impact on climate. 10% of greenhouse gas emissions comes from methane that is caused by food loss and food waste. And of course, it has a huge impact on food security. Especially in countries that are so dependent on smallholder farming, where things are grown out in nature and more uncontrolled, things will come out looking out of spec and not completely to the standard. So we are making this huge problem the solution. By keeping food in the human food chain, we can tackle climate change, boost farmer incomes, improve food affordability, and we're collecting granular data on the drivers of food loss. Farm to Feed is a tech-enabled platform to reduce food loss. We aggregate the full harvest from farmers through an app, our bespoke ERP, and we create a new market for this full harvest for B2B customers, which are hotels, restaurants, food processors, hospitals, any kind of business that is using food. We have built our e-commerce platform, so we're at phase 1 of our company. We have about 50 customers on our platform at the moment. We're now introducing semi-processed products for the platform, so we're able to rescue more food from farms, and we're also testing semi-processing for eventually a global play to see if our e-commerce can also reach global customers. The market for convenient, but also healthy, natural, and good for climate food is growing, and it is getting larger and larger. And we are tapping into the value of Africa, which actually can provide high-quality products to the world with a lot of impact. This has been our traction last year. We've tripled our revenue from 2023 to 2024. We're reaching about $500,000 revenue at the moment. We have around 50 customers. We're delivering about 80,000 kgs per month, and we're saving customers on their cost of produce. Our impact we measure across 4 different places: rescued from farms, climate impact, food affordability, and market access for farmers. We are a women-led team, but we're not just women, we're also great leaders. It's myself, Anouk, Zara, Terry, Toril, and we have Richard for our gender diversity. We proudly raised $1 million last round from these amazing partners, and we're now raising 1.8. We are oversubscribed, so we're actually preparing for a second close. So if you are interested in coming on and you have something interesting to offer us, please speak to me after the pitch. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Claire.
I think Claire is sick of me asking her questions after doing this pitch and dance back and forth for the last 3.5 years, 4 years, Claire.
True.
And for all transparency, 54 Collective is about to, or has approved an investment in Farm to Feed. So we are part of this round that Claire just announced. So I'm still going to ask you the toughest question I've been asking for 4 years, because I guess that's what I should do, right? Yes. How are we going to get to scale?
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of growth first in Kenya, right? So the commercial kitchens, which we are targeting, we're currently servicing 50. There are 100,000 of those in Nairobi alone. So there is a huge potential. We are not even scratching the surface, and we're able to get $500,000 revenue on that, on Nairobi, for 50 customers. There's secondary customers as well, but as we said, we're adding, now we've built this really good sales channel, which is our e-commerce platform. We're introducing more and more customers. And the big thing, of course, is that we want to go beyond Kenya. And not go beyond Kenya in terms of building logistics hubs in Uganda, in Tanzania, but really compress here, densify our production here, and from here, look at other customers outside of Kenya that we can service. So that's how we're looking at the scale of our company.
You mentioned a global play as well. Is that with like finished products that you then have frozen or fresh to sell?
Yes, so that is single ingredient products, to be very specific, that are healthy, climate friendly. So you have to think about the banana powder that we're looking at now, or a very concentrate. So things that are born in Kenya that have a really good price here are unique for this area of the world, but are not found somewhere else. And we feel with that we can actually improve our impact story and be much more commercial as well.
Okay, thank you.
How will you find those products, Claire? I'm laughing because we literally were doing this brainstorm yesterday. So, but I want others to hear about how deep you think about your business.
Yeah, no, I mean, we are currently, this is separate from the local market. We separate that from the global market. So we have a separate R&D team that focuses on the global market, which is sort of the longer term play. So we really separate it from the core business and the core e-commerce. So what we're finding, for example, is really interesting. The banana powder, which is I don't want to say too much about it also, but it has so many qualities in terms of what it can do for farmers and what it can do for climate, and that it's very specific to this area. And there are more of those kind of products that are high food loss, highly perishable, where farmers can actually earn much more if they have a stable market. And keeping everything raw and trying to transport everything within 3 days to the customer is, of course, very volatile and difficult for farmers as well as businesses. So to increase shelf life and really look for those products that can put Kenya on the map for actually products that are extremely high quality, that's also part of the vision, right? Having things born in Africa and catapult that in the world is also part of that vision.
I'm going to thank Claire and the judges, and yes, thank you, a round of applause, and say that I'm very proud of you for upholding gender diversity when other companies are not careful. Okay, careful. So thank you again, a round of applause. And the next company that we have is Mawa Mazuri. And the title for the session would be Tissue Culture, Tanzania Advanced Technological Farming Process. And we'll be hearing from Mr. Benny Mbaga.
Good afternoon, everyone. Before I can start my pitch, I would like to tell my judge the future is right in front of you, and it's my job to make sure that you don't miss it. Before I can start, I would like you to keep one thing in mind. Tanzania has one of the largest in terms of land coverage with banana trees, the fourth in the world compared to India, Brazil, and China. But then when it comes to production, Tanzania is nowhere to be seen. It's almost like being recognized as being the fastest runner in the world, but you're just never seen in the Olympics, which doesn't make sense. My name is Benny Mbaga, the head of investments and business strategy at Mawa Mazuri. I'm here to tell you why we do our superior quality seedlings over there, why are they superior, for who do we do it, and how we're impacting the world. We are a biotechnology company that focuses on premium quality seedlings, making them using advanced tissue culture technology, also known as micropropagation. Why do we do it? At the moment, farmers are getting traditional seedlings which are very low quality in terms of yield. As you can see on the left side, majority of farmers get between 15 kgs to 20 kgs. Meanwhile, with our product, farmers are able to get between 35 kgs to 40 kgs. That's something that you get out of Costa Rica, India, or Brazil. Now, our process is quite simple. I would like your attention for a bit. So let's say you like this plant over here. It's good yielding. What we can do is extract the tissue out of this plant, take it to our lab facility where it goes through under micropropagation or multiplication, plant it into a media, and then we can multiply it. So from this tissue, from this plant, we can create 11,000 more or 15,000 more, which guarantee you the same yield as the plant. And then we take it out to the nursery where it grows a bit longer and then it's hardened. And for just $1, our farmer is able to pick up their seedlings. Now, let's take it back to balance. Remember when I mentioned Tanzania is the fourth in terms of land coverage with bananas? On the far right, if we had to use banana seedlings from Mau, Missouri, which are high yielding, Tanzania would have been still the fourth or the fifth. So you can see the gap there. In terms of revenue, we started off with 33K in revenue back in 2020, jumped to 130K, 300K. As of last year, we did around 600K in revenue with a month-on-month EBITDA positive. We are quite a wide range of team, from business specialists, biotechnicians, and agronomists. We only employ 100% female in our laboratory, and we have just finished graduated from our Stanford Seed program where we went through transformation of our company. We're raising about $1.5 million. We have already a term sheet level with 500K, and that will be used for laboratory expansion because we are out of stock. Everything is sold out, and then expanding our nurseries and operational costs. I normally end my pitches with a quote, but for today I would like to give you like a did you know fact that there's a Harvard study that was done that shows that in Kenya, an average household spends about 2.5% of their income in bananas only. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you very much. I think, yeah, across Africa, we have problems with low yield of agriculture across the fold. So it's amazing what you're doing to help improve the yield, almost double it. Right. How much more, I guess, well, how's the adoption for farmers to buy your seedlings?
So hence why the 33K in revenue back in 2020, adoption rate was very low. So what we decided to do is provide extra services to the farmers in terms of there's a WhatsApp group that we onload them and give them education, but then also farmers speak to each other. So you might find there's a plot of land with our seedlings doing great, and the next plot is not doing great because they have traditional seedlings, so they can already see the difference. We also introduced a product called Banana Business in a Box, BBB, where it comes with an off-take agreement and financing, but it's about 500 seedlings in it. So farmers are willing to also take it because it has an off-taker agreement, and also it comes with financing.
Amazing. Do you also do anything about disease prevention when you're creating your bananas, your tissues?
Yes, I think I have a slide for that. But in terms of diseases, our seedlings are superior because they're disease-free, right? We test it. So there's a problem right now in the market called the BBTV.
Yes.
And that's why we introduced the BBB. So the BBTV basically is that the banana plant will never grow to its full maturity. And the only way you can eradicate the problem is by uprooting and starting afresh. Now, how do you start afresh? Most farmers go to another farm and take the suckers into the farm, right? And you're not aware if that has diseases as well. So that's where we come in, where the banana seedlings are tested and approved because they come from the lab, right? We have a BBTV testing kit and a virus testing kit, and then we supply it to the farmers. And then now, after that, it's just a matter of the farmers to make sure that they don't get the virus into their farms.
I mean, I'll really support doing more kind of demo farms. We do a lot in Ghana with some companies we work with, and that works really well. When a farmer sees their yield compared to the demo yield, they're like, I want that one.
Yes.
And because it's such a large cash crop, and I'm sure the export value is massive,
right.
I can imagine the government should be supporting.
Right.
So I'm hoping the agriculture ministries and and the local government would also be a means to distribute your seedlings.
Right, yep, you're completely correct. Because then, just to add from the BBTV, BBB, Tanzania government has just introduced Building Better Tomorrow. So BBB, and basically trying to support young entrepreneurs in terms of farming by providing them with seedlings. So they're working collaborating with us to make sure that we supply, because then you also need someone who can supply at that scale, and we are the people who can supply at that scale, so we work with the government to supply them with the fresh seedlings.
Thank you. Look, I hope you come to Ghana one day soon.
Hopefully, hopefully. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you so much. A round of applause again. And I'd like to invite you to stay onto the stage, and I'd actually like